It's Madden NFL 22, where division rivals will clash in the NFC North. It's the Vikings and the Bears on Monday night.
The sun is set in Chicago. The temps have dipped and will continue to do so. Jacket and blanket weather. It's that time of year at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, and not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up. And then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out, the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And just a few years after the Bears made a big move at quarterback, taking Mitchell Trubisky, they did it again this year, moving from number 20 to number 11 in the draft to select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. This offense was just 26 in total yardage last year, so they needed some production. Justin Fields, 63 touchdown passes his last 2 years at Ohio State. They're expecting him to be their guy for the future.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. Pushing his way through. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the first play of the game. Well, we saw David Montgomery lead the nation a few years back in broken tackles when he was at Iowa State, and he's proven to be difficult to bring down in the NFL as well.
Yeah, and this is absolutely a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare as well, because they spend all week preaching about the need to wrap up and make sure tackles, but what a letdown here, and it winds up costing them big yardage.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Let's go. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Now Montgomery. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. He's got it. Touchdown. Darnell Mooney. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
You get a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And the Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A run there with Cook not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. 2nd down coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Joseph's got it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
They'll start with the option. And he coughed it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return will stop right around the 25. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Going for the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, Fields. And that'll be incomplete. David Montgomery, the target, out of the backfield. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Let's see who's faster.
Play fake, Cousins. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Cousins. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Cousins again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 1st down, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Let's go.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball, because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Oh, that's me.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Following the fumble recovery, Fields. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Let's go.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Fields on first down. Caught by Montgomery. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now Fields. Steps away to his left. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Come on with it, man.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears have retaken the lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Santos now to add the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 29, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free. because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, good move. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll run on first down. Cook. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Cousins. That's taken in by Smith-Marset. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Throwing on third down, Fields. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now here comes Westbrook. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action. Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Osborne. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
On second down, Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
58 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings feature back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
Once more, it's the fullback Ham.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. C.J. Ham taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Well, it was 2nd and goal. You're in there close. That's the fullback's comfort zone.
Not only is it his comfort zone, it's an expectation. That's what he's supposed to do. Turn and hand it to him. Big guys fire out. Find your way into the end zone.
Joseph now to have the PAT. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Here's 2nd and 10. Fields. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, Montgomery. And some space here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
From the gun, here's Fields.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Second and 2. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. That's complete right side to Kmet.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen.
Going for it all.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Fields throw complete here to Kmet. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Fields throwing again. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys are able to regain the lead. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Santos with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on. But for him leading a team, trying to win a ball game, I agree with you. Not happy at all. Trying to figure out how to up his game and inspire his teammates to do the same.
That's a true leader. But just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Bears, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And Charles, they trail here, though not really the fault of this offense.
No, they certainly did their part in the first half. But when you're in a shootout like this, you definitely want your defense to play better, but you know that's out of your control. All you can do, keep putting points on the scoreboard and keep giving your defense opportunities to make stops.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man. And
they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
On second down, it's Cook again.
Down to the 25. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On third down, Cousins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Akeem Hicks, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is Jakeem Grant.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
46 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, Montgomery. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And off comes to Montgomery. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 31, Fields. Throw caught here by Bird. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll run with Montgomery, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery taking it in from 2 yards out as the Bears push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. After the touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Room here to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Let's go.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll try to throw now. Cousins throwing the out route incomplete. That's Osborne. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
They'll run with Cook. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Cousins to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. Joseph's got it. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in by Grant.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Finds a seam inside the 40. Touchdown, Chicago! David Montgomery, 53 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. And that deserves a couple exclamation points.
Now the point after try for Santos. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
To throw is Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Robert Quinn able to get him for a loss of about 3. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one out to the 35. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give him that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bears take over.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not 1 drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Now it's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
Westbrook now on the return.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
Open man is Osborne. He's got him.
Not much there, only a yard. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You can have the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins, and that is incomplete here. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, Cousins. Open man here is Conklin.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
107 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 1st down.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. That was huge after being behind the chains on 1st down to make this 2nd very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on 1st down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
Let's go, boys, let's go!
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
A first down throw for Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Now Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
Hook up a 15 yards there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Cook.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I would think down 2 scores at this point in the 4th quarter, even with the loss there on 1st down, this has got to be 4-down territory. If you're the field goal kicker, your only purpose now is if you can run out for a pass or actually carry the ball into the end zone. Otherwise, don't even look at the coach.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
Again, it's Cook.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook
taking it in for 2 yards out.
And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Fields now to throw.
That is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
2nd and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Here's Fields.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Following the interception, Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, the dial-up that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Running for it, here's Cook. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Throwing, Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers.
You're holding
what does
up
that
4
mean?
fingers. That signifies the 4th quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the 4th quarter. What we found out so far, 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, 2nd one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up, had that lead. They were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned.
Right there in the middle, 55. Ball can see
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete.
Cole Kmet, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
On play action, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here's Fields.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On the carry, it's Cook. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turn.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Dalvin Cook.
A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a fourth-quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Point after, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. Yeah, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
To throw is Fields.
And incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Bears on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
From the gun, here's Fields.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They snap it to Fields.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, CD, when you combine accuracy with a big arm, you get throws like that. And Justin Fields may very well be making these kinds of plays at the pro level for years to come.
And give him credit, he deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively, my goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on 4th down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing? And it turns into a touchdown.
Santos with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From the 27, Cousins.
He'll find Smith-Marset complete.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A give. This is Cook. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Here's Cousins.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph.
They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So no real weather issues, anything of that nature to speak of, but that's now 2 missed field goals here so far.
And not to use this as an excuse, but I will say it is a little bit different kicking outdoors than it is in a dome.
Sure.
You can fall in love with perfect footing, no breeze whatsoever. I doubt that had too big of an impact, but you never know.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll look to throw.
He'll get this underneath to Montgomery.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Would be a long field goal try from here as they try to hustle to the line. He's back to throw.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the fourth quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.